Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me in a little round of Transport Fever 2, where we're gonna play a bit, look at some trains, progress our game. We've been playing quite a long time here already, so maybe it's time to recap a tiny bit. We have a small map here, 3 cool cities that we already connected, lots of interesting connections going on, and I have been thinking about how to optimize stuff recently. And one idea that for sure will need to be done is I would like to take a look at like this overlay, because I usually don't like the overlay because I kind of putting stuff on my map that I don't like, but it helps to understand where there's additional capacity, because you can see that here on the station, for example, there's the icon with a lot of people, that means there's a lot of people, or that here there seems to be a lot of coal lying around, and indeed there is. Look at these huge containers here. It's like probably like, that's more than a train load, that's 2 train loads at least. So that helps us to optimize things a bit, so I would like to do that. So let us take a look here. So we're losing currently some coal also because we don't have enough storage here. We have 2 trains running with a capacity of 324, and these are those trains that are just now one returning. They're transporting only a short distance. Putting a second train there would be a little bit overkill technically, but I suppose I will. What I could do is like make them a little bit less long, because then they would be a little bit faster. Yeah, that's what probably the game. So we'll go here, manage the vehicles, edit it, and we'll just throw out 1 wagon each. Maybe. Let's start small. Start small. 430. Yeah, I guess we can probably live with something like that. So next up, what do we want to look at? Next up, we have, this stuff looks fine. This here looks pretty dreadful. We already worked on that. An increased capacity here, I believe. So this should technically slowly being worked on by those trains that are coming in. Oh, look at this one. It's so slow. Why? Is this an older style locomotive? Probably. These are those ones, the crude transport. Really old locomotives. So just to take a look at which one it is. It's a bit hard to see, unfortunately. I don't see that there is an overlay where I can actually spot what the locomotive is. I believe it's this one, the Prussian one. So we have this more high-speed one, which probably we cannot do because of the stuff, but the traction effort, and like look at this, like it's much better. I believe we will upgrade here. I have like a consistent issue with the with the scroll bar, unfortunately, and that's on Mac. So I guess I'll have to delete it first, then buy a new one. Okay. I'm not so sure. Like the Mac version of this game is a tiny bit buggy, maybe. Delete, add to the back. Don't see it. Oh, 1 second. Okay, I can scroll it. It's just like the scroll by itself, you cannot click somehow. That was maybe the issue. Okay, at least that's something to work with. But now we're lacking a little bit the funds to actually do the things that I would like to do. So let me just, while we have them again, work at least a bit of things. Reach for the production in the manufacturing industry in the free game. Alright, we're doing oil. Oil is our one of our best exports, I guess, or internal products. I guess we're not exporting them technically. So is that enough for the line? Yeah, 160 meters is what fits in. So then let's take a look at this train here. It should have a significant advantage now. Oh, look at these old wagons. Very cool. Of course, we're going a little bit in faster speed, and as I said, like even though we have a max speed of 60, we're not gonna be reaching that because we are Oh, why does it go over here? Okay, because it wants to go on this section, not on the the right one for some reason. That's okay. Very good. That gives us a cool $1 million to work with, which we can then invest into the next vehicle upgrade, presumably if we had the money. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, let's take a look at some other stuff. This is definitely the most urgent to upgrade. This here also looks very promising. We have a lot of wood here. In fact, 600 wood. Yeah, we need 2 more trains basically on this line. It's not making a good profit recently because of something. Probably it's just temporary. Like, these are running the newest engines. Maybe it calculates the cost of those. It's also strange that this is like only so little filled. Like, why is that not filled at all? Because I probably upgraded them last episode and I forgot about it. Could that be the reason? Probably that's the reason, right? This one. Yeah, it's a new train. Okay. I'm probably just forgetful then. So, trains are mutually blocked. How are those mutually blocked? Are they kind of colliding into one space? Yeah, this is kind of an overtaking section. I see how that could be the case. Long trains in this small pass. You put one here so that this train can pull forward, but it's not going to be enough, I hope, I guess. Maybe. Yeah, it is. Okay, so then I guess we have like a little task to do here. Let's check that out, that we can maybe build a second line over that. So that we can avoid this nonsense. So these ones we will remove because I don't need that. And here we have like a, you can switch left to right in a this way. I guess that's also fine. Then the only thing needed is to have this connection here, I guess. Signal wise, another signal right about there. And maybe something on the bridge could help so that there's more capacity on that. Yeah, for sure. Good stuff. Okay. So then we can give our attention again to planks and oil. Let's start with the oil, I suppose. Here the trains are a bit slow. Let me just double check like what the exporting capacity on this line is. We're optimized it fairly well. I think we can get it over the 400 by just upgrading the trains actually, because they will be more faster. There we go. One more upgraded, and then one more. Yep, that looks pretty good. So what else we have? We have crude oil transport here is also lacking severely. We have pretty decent capacity. We have here already very nice trains, although I feel like yeah, maybe here I'm waiting unnecessarily, but that's because this station is small. Yeah. Is it an option to extend that station? For sure, technically. Technically, yes, but in practice, maybe it's okay. They're waiting a little bit. It's not too crazy, but could be better, sure. Like, we could build also an unloading station on one side and a loading station on the other side, like open TTD style. Could be. Could be. But let's firstly upgrade stuff. I know this is boring, but it's the path to success. So, one more. Maybe we can try to do 2 at the same time. So, we're gonna do that. Then I will select this one. Here we go. Both to the front. remove one, remove one, done. Oh, almost parallel exit, but of course the other train will turn around to go to the other direction now. Yeah, the money we're making is gonna work out great, I think. So here, very tight curve into the station. Slowly we're working through the backlog, I feel. That's good to see. And here, the capacity is actually 400, but I feel like it's just barely enough right now. We don't have any backlog and the train is waiting around. Oh, I don't like to see that. There's one more train coming in now. Did we like overdo it a bit? We have 400 crude production and the line has a transport capacity of almost 400. It should be fine theoretically. The next train is coming on already there. So that's not very satisfying, to be honest. I have to think about that. How is it here? Yeah, here we already looked. One more train. Theoretically, yes. In practice might be too much. Production here is also at 100. Transport, everything is fine. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding how some stuff works. 400. I would think that you have 400 production and that uses the same time scale as the 400 rate that you have here. Would be my guess. Although it might just be that they need to space out a little bit still. Or they have to recalculate. Our rate is maybe right now a bit too high because we exchanged the locomotives, but I think they update immediately. Okay, then we have the planks here. It's also an interesting topic. One of them is quite much. Planks to tools gets a lot of allocation somehow. Why does planks to tools have such a huge allocation? Are we undersupplying this? No, not even. It's quite fine. Why does it allocate so much to this line? I would have more on the planks to machine line, to be honest. I think that was the reason why we saw one of the trains leave a little bit empty. The machines line here, it needs definitely more planks, but it's not allocating them to it. I don't know. Here we have an issue that there's a lot of stuff here lying around, and these little things, they cannot get it moving fast enough, basically. Is that an issue here? Not significantly. I mean, it always has something, I guess. But faster from the harbor to there. Well, the harbor is basically only supplied from there. So we can see that this is also overflowing. So we have nowhere near enough capacity here, it seems, to transport all of that stuff. Do we upgrade any of the ships yet? I think we're always using those very early game ones. If I were to replace that. So we want to transport wood. We're using the Wilhelm right now with the 22 kilometers. 25 or 100, that's pretty big for like these things. It's also not possible to transport a lot of stuff with them. There's a lot of them. This one we had also from the start. The running costs are about twice as high. What would be the advantage of doing it then? Passenger cargo service. 100 capacity. So we have much less ships, much more power, a tiny bit more speed. I feel like I'm not sure if it's worth it because you have less than 2 times the capacity. So you have only like 50% more capacity thereabout. But the running costs are almost 2 times as high. So that doesn't seem like a great deal, like roughly speaking. So maybe I will not take that. The alternative would be maybe to just transport it here by rail, because like what do we need to do for that? Like nothing, basically. We just build a rail station here, put it over there, like move it here, 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 then there. Easy. Like, I think the era of shipping is long gone. Like, we're gonna make trains happen here. Okay, so then let's go it. Let's do it. That's gonna be my goal for this episode, I believe. Buildings. We need a cargo terminus. So let me just take a look here. So we want to kind of get into there. So maybe we'll place it here on this side. That also offers some expansion opportunities theoretically here in the future. 160. Maybe we'll build 2 just to make it look bigger. There we go. So we might need to connect those up. Okay, here is a connection possible, yeah. So let me just do it like that then. We'll do this and then... that didn't connect, why? No, that connected. Okay. Right, that connected. Of course. So then track, we want to come into here somewhere. Ideally you would come in before that join here, or we just kind of build our first bridge over something here again. The problem with bridges is you have to go quite far up, and I guess this is not yet the era of building a lot of bridges for me. So, but coming out here is definitely a challenge because you will have to end up there. How does that look? There's a pretty bad 40 kilometer section, but 40 kilometers is for this era not a red flag, that I guess, because it's okay. 40 kilometers is slowish, but it's okay. The alternative could be we could try to come out here a little bit faster, because that's kind of the mainline area. So if we try to come out here with 60, for example, okay, let me just build it. And then we're kind of slowing in the average speed into the station, but that's okay. The trains can be slow when they're going into the station, but kind of direction to the main line, they should be at least at 60. Yeah. Okay, so here again, signaling, big topic. This signal here, probably bad call in this situation. So you can have a signal here and here. There's no problem if the trains stop here. There's also no problem if a train stops here, which is fine. It also can stop here. On the way out here, it should go at least until there, until here, or until there. Yeah, something like that. And then we can put like some extra signals maybe in, and maybe also the ability to switch tracks so that both platforms can be equally used, of course, like that. Okay, done deal. So then we will get some train running. Probably, where will it come from? Hard to say what would be the best connection here. I guess it's probably from down here, because they cannot enter. Well, we could take it from here maybe. I have some bad experience in the past that trains then navigate weirdly, but let's try it. So, big one, then cargo, flat cars, sure. Let's go as long as we can for now. 4 million almost. Ugh. I remember when trains were like 1 million. Okay, we're gonna put you on a new line that we're gonna define, and that new line will be going from this station to this station. So this is gonna be the noise forest. What do you call it? Is this called forest like 1, 2? What is it called? Does it have like a name? I don't know. Noise sawmill. Okay, whatever. Then let's do it like this. We put both are allowed to be used on both sides. And did it already put it here? I probably guess it did. Logs line. Okay. So we put it from here. So it's coming out now. Yes. 59 will be the rate. So we're gonna need like a bunch of those. Oh my god. Okay. And that means that this here, the logs shipment line, one of the first lines that we ever established with 30-year-old ships here, will now be sold off for scraps. Yes, I'm sorry. And that this line here also unfortunately does not have a future. If I knew how to delete it, now that would be something. I guess it's not possible in this view here. That's the one. There we go. Transferred all the wood to the station here. Very nice. And yeah, then this here will be also retired. Bygone era. So that means also that the service to here will no longer be happening. And here, well, we can run it like a little bit longer to kind of move out the remainder, but that's gotta be a goner as well. I guess this is kind of like for me to reconsider whether I want to have this harbor deleted. Alright, alright, alright. Fair enough. So, I'm surprised that it has like so low throughput. Alright then. Clone, clone, clone. Need about 7, probably. So a little bit more is needed. Let's see how good it actually works. I think in the first iteration they might not be able to come there. Let me just check actually if I can spot where the train is going to. It's coming here through the tunnel. It goes to the sawmill first, that's what I thought. They have this habit of somehow going to the destination for some reason first. Ooh, slow down there, buddy. He was really rushing there into the corner. It's very hard to see stuff that is happening here in the forest. Quite dangerous. The tracks are very, very busy here. Trains everywhere, which is good, of course. It means that our little region here is prospering, but also means that we have to pay double attention to all the security features that railroads are known for. Of course, of course. So, we're already starting to lose a little bit of wood, so I would like to, if I could, make... How did it happen? Configure here, yeah. Cargo buildings, large sidings. Yeah, that is better. So slowly they're coming in, very nice. Cargo out of 240, what does it mean? Where did I just see that? Here. 160 out of 240, what does that mean? Is it like the how much they have already loaded currently? Well, we cannot afford another clone, unfortunately, yet. So how does it look here? They're slowly working through the backlog, not much is left. And yeah, there's just a few more transfers that will also come to a very satisfying conclusion. Of course, all people who lose their job from the wagons, they can become locomotive drivers or tram drivers in our company. We don't have to let anybody go. There will be lots of new opportunities here in this company. Yes. Let's just wait a tiny bit as we work through the last backlog here. We can see how it's quite slow to load these wagons, and they have like a very small capacity of only 4. I think we could upgrade them to one that has capacity of 5. But of course, river transport or rail transport is a game changer for logs. It's actually also one of, in southern Germany, if you go to the Black Forest region, that's one of the things that they did. Either they transported by by the rivers, or they went and built railroads. And I think that'll conclude this old-fashioned transport network in just a few seconds, when we have the last horses pick up the last few goods. And here we are, indeed. So now everything is done. Of course, there's still a little bit of traffic here happening while they're unloading. We will not want that to go to waste, so we just give it a few seconds here to work through that backlog, but more and more things are gonna get stuck down there. So I guess this guy here is the last one to deliver something. So let's join him on his final journey. A bit elevated speed, of course, but I can sound the horn. Okay, that's crazy. That is crazy. Alright. Yeah, here we are. Last delivery of the day. Probably ever for the station, because we will deconstruct it. There we go. So, managing the line here. Managing the vehicles maybe first. 30 vehicles will be sold off. And yeah, the line here will also get terminated. Indeed. And then we will deconstruct some parts here as well, as they will no longer be required. Bringing back nature to its former state, if we can. That looks suspicious, like we did that, I'm not sure, but just flatten that out a bit. Nice. So once again, we have some little demand here for some other goods, but I will ignore it until such a time that actually seems like it becomes more urgent. But let's just say that that concludes today's episode. I think we did quite well, upgrading a few things, making sure that things are running smoothly. And I will see you next time for continuation. Take care. Bye bye.